Now, from WBZ Sports, this is Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria.
Yes, indeed, everyone. It's that time again. Welcome, everyone, to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. I'm Steve Burton. The win streak is at 8 for your Patriots, with the best record in the NFL at 9-2, tied for the best anyway. But while they won the game against the Jets, they also suffered a big-time loss. Ernie Adams, Chris Fauria alongside. We'll get to this week's game in Cincinnati on Sunday in just a minute against the Bengals, who may or may not have wide receiver Jamar Chase. That's a whole nother issue. But we know one thing's for certain. The Patriots will not have Milton Williams, and I think he's one of the best players on their defense.
No question. They wanted a big dominant force in the middle. He's been exactly that. The unfortunate reality of pro football is it's a war of attrition. You're going to get guys banged up. You're going to lose them for some time. You just have to, move on. But he's been a terrific player for them, and it's a big loss. The good thing is, right now you'd say, good chance they're going to have him in January.
I got you.
And that's really,
okay.
You're at the point now where, stuff like that becomes really important.
He's a tone setter, and I think it's a big loss because he's a big reason why they were so successful against the run. Not only just his own personal dominance against offensive linemen, but just the ability to rotate guys in there. So obviously Christian Barmore becomes a bigger impact player. Rookie Joshua Farmer is going to have to step up. He's been hurt coming off an ankle injury. We'll see how what kind of production he can give you. And Tonga's been great. I mean, on both sides of the ball, to be honest with you.
I love Tonga. Just the name
alone.
You got to live up to that name, though.
So, but that to me is listen, they were doing really good against the run. I don't think they'll be as good, but they'll still be good enough to kind of make a difference.
Okay, they get the potential return of Ramondre Stevenson and Kayshon Boutte. You need these guys back. Stevenson has a toe. How long can he be out with a toe injury?
As you see from some guys around the league, it's significant. I mean, you think about it. Every time you take a step, if your toe's not right, it's going to impact you.
Okay, so
case in point, how about Joe Burrow?
Yeah, Joe Burrow's that's a good point. Joe Burrow's not playing.
Purdy.
Yeah,
right.
You're right. Good. No, excellent point. So here's my thing. Travion Anderson has taken off. What do you do with Ramondre Stevenson when he comes back?
When he comes back, then you've got another good running back. You never have too many good running backs. You're going to need good.
You're dodging the question. Who starts?
Who's in the first play of the game? Who cares? I mean, if you'd like to run the ball 35 times, the big thing is you
protect these guys.
18 carries apiece. It's hard to just give one guy the ball 36 times every week.
So I like the fact that he added who starts, who cares. So there is a stat. You go Pro Football Focus reference, and it'll say games played and the game started. And I will technically be the guy who was introduced on TV, yet I am not on the first play of the game. Therefore, if you look at my stats page, I don't get credit for a start. That's kind of the way it works. You don't get credit for the start unless you are literally the tight end on record playing the first snap of the first game. So it's weird that way. So my answer to your question is, nothing changes. If the game plan calls for him to have a play, he's going to start. But backs are different. They're a lot like tight ends. You can have two on the field at the same time. Quarterbacks doesn't matter. Offensive lineman, it's always one guy. Receivers, 5 guys sometimes.
Let me put it to you this way.
Go ahead.
Does anybody really care that on all the championship teams, John Havlicek didn't start a lot of games? The place when it counted, he was in there.
He was.
He was in there.
And he also stole the ball.
He did against Hal Greer. I actually remember that.
So how does Josh juggle the two going forward?
You're going to have you're in 2 plays. Now I'm going to I got another play. Maybe you're better at. I'll put you in.
Okay.
It's not that hard if you got 2 good players. The problem is if you don't have any good backs. Now that's when you have a problem.
You use the word juggling like it's a problem. No, he's great at this. Josh McDaniels is excellent. Just look through his history with all the different backs, all the different body types, all the different guys. This is just what he wants.
Okay.
Multiple players, because people will look at Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson and think, they're the same. They're not. They're not.
No.
So they'll be used differently.
One's power, one's speed.
Yep.
One's power, one's speed.
And it affects and the defense sure has to look at it that way. You have a different who's in the game in the backfield will determine what a lot of defenses play.
Kayshon Boutte. hopefully they get him back as well. Now, he's Drake May's deep threat guy. What does he bring back?
Just that. I mean, you just can't have too many good players. That's the whole idea. That's why they got a player personnel department. You want as many good players as possible because you're going to need every one of them.
So it's a nice issue to have
Yes.
these guys coming back.
Yeah, and I would say everybody is everybody's established themselves as reliable players. Mac Hollins is a deep threat guy. He's a big play guy. However you want to define him, the dude is always coming up with plays. Obviously, Diggs and everybody else. Everybody is performing when they need to. When their number is called, they perform. So would they like to have Booty back? Absolutely. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to change
when Booty
the way
comes
they
back,
call a
somebody
play.
else sits, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys have earned the right to keep their reps.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I would say. And I would say, like, that's the one thing that this organization has always done. Man, listen, if you've proven that you're reliable, we're going to find a way to put you on the field.
How do you get on the next issue? Jamar Chase.
Okay?
Spit.
Spitgate.
Spitgate. Okay, that's a great way to Spitgate. Okay, when that happens, when you're coaching a player that does that, how do you approach it?
I mean, yeah, do you understand how much you're hurting the team? You're hurting yourself. You're making yourself look like a jerk. You know, we just can't do it. You can't do it. Don't even think about it.
He's much more polite than I would be. To me, this is the most despicable, lowest form of sportsmanship imaginable to me.
Right.
Like, I think it's horrible. And anyone who does it is just low class and has no emotional strength whatsoever. To spit in somebody's face and then lie about it.
Unacceptable.
What a dope. This guy's stupid.
Okay. What does it do to the drama of the football? How does it affect the entire team?
So
When
the
you get
Bengals,
best
how does
player.
it affect the Bengals?
Yeah, the Bengals. That's what I'm saying.
You know, unfortunately, this is what the head coach gets paid for, to deal with stuff like this. I mean, because, you know, that's where all the problems come. He's got to, you know, try to get it straightened out. But it's destructive to trying to win football games.
But when you bring in a guy like that, you're the head coach. You bring in a guy like that, you have to question yourself. What type of guy did I bring in that's going to spit in someone else's face?
Because you know what? For the last how many years, nobody's been talking about when he's been going out looking like the best receiver in pro football. I mean, it's you
got a point.
Yeah,
you got a point.
You just try.
So you live with it.
You live with it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like it. Until you can't live with it.
Okay, so
all right, we got to take a break.
Okay,
but go
I
ahead.
know. My thing is, like, I think this paints a picture of an overall attitude of the team in general. I think they all understand that they're cooked. The season's over. They're not going to the playoffs. They tried to keep it together. This game against the Pittsburgh Steelers was their last chance before Joe Burrow came back to try and save their season. They're done. They're over. And I think that's an indicator the way Jamar Chase was acting.
Spitgate.
Spitgate.
We're going to take a break. But when we come back, we head to the whiteboard to talk Blitz pickup. Stay tuned. You're going to learn something. I guarantee it. You're watching Burton Ernie talk football for you. We'll be right back. Spitgate. Welcome back to Burton Ernie talk football for you. We're talking Blitz pickup at the whiteboard, Ernie. So who's coming?
Well,
Who's coming to dinner?
Steve, let's say we're 3rd and 10.
Yep.
We're in a three wide receiver formation. The defense is in nickel, and the whole point with the way defenses play now in the league, you don't know who's coming.
It's a passing down.
It's a passing down. They may overload you with 4 people coming weak. They may overload you with 4 people strong. They'll pretend they're coming weak and come strong, and you got to be ready for all.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Cold's coming. Go ahead.
Hey. It's the week of the Harvard-Yale game. That's when the weather always turns. Always.
Good point by you.
And as Christian knows, we probably spent as much time on blitz pickup as we spent on anything, because all the possibilities the defense can throw at
change a game.
They can change a game. You turn one loose, now it's a 10-yard sack. The defense, they got all whoop up and hoop and holler, and then they'll come blitz you the next time.
Yeah.
So it's critical, and this is why.
So give us an example.
So, for instance, you can have coming defense, just a basic. You can be bringing with 4 people coming strong. You get the nickel and the backer coming, but over here they'll be faking like they're coming this side. Then we can roll down to the nickel. This backer come over, they'll drop the weak side end, and this is one of the real changes in the way people play. This is a defensive end, but now all of a sudden he's dropping back. He's in a throwing lane, and you have to be ready to account for all of it.
Which is why the back right here is so important.
Well,
right?
The back is so important, but I'll just remember a couple weeks ago we started with our old friend. It starts with the mic point, okay? Because the center comes up, he may see that where the defense is coming, and in this case, if he's got the center directed strong, now he's got this backer picked up in the back. When he's got scan, nobody comes on his side. He has to check the other side first. So they may actually be able to come over and pick this up. But again, it's the whole thing with the mic point, because if the quarterback sees him coming over here, he'll send the center over this way, identifying now this backer is the mic, and that changes everybody else's assignments too.
So I have a couple questions for you. Okay, so what I've seen the Patriots do and some other teams do is they will take this back and they'll move them up almost like a yard behind either the guard or in the gap. Why would you do that? Because if you have to scan and go over, you really have a hard time doing it.
You have a hard time. What they'll do is, because this defense, they'll take both these backers and put them up in the A gaps.
Okay, but now are you locked on that guy?
You are to.
Now, what are the problems if now I'm locked? The defense knows I'm locked because now I'm moved up. I'm identifying it. Now what?
Now it's the cat and mouse game. Now you try to make the best of a bad situation.
Okay.
But that could be better than letting someone come up in the A gap and get a full head of steam up before you have to come up.
So here's a question I have. Guys are coming from the right side. Your back is on your left. Does the quarterback say, hey, get over here back?
No, because you sometimes, but most of this is built in because you've spent all these blitzes for nickel against this formation. You spend a lot of time at practice. For instance, when we're going kicking PATs and field goals, okay, that's a lineman's game. All the backs and the linebackers, they'll go over and be doing blitz pickup on the side. If Josh McDaniels has to put on, if the coaches have to put on, the vests, to identify themselves as linebackers, they'll do it. You spend hours going over this stuff.
I do think, to your point, if the back is off, there's lots of times his eyes will be to the right and he'll have to adjust, and it's very important for him to know because he's got to get there in a hurry. My next question: when the defense is mugging, as a general rule,
when defense is what?
When they're mugging, when the backs are up and they're right next to the line of scrimmage.
Both linebackers in the A gaps. A gaps are between the center and the guard.
Is that what you call mugging?
They're mean mugging. Right? They're up there like, I'm going to get you. Right? That's what they're doing. They're like trying to.
And when they're both up there, everybody, it's the universal term. It's the double mug.
Okay. The double mug.
So if they show early, as a general rule, I know it's not an exact science because there is a cat and mouse game going on. As a general rule, if they show early, do you expect them to bail as opposed to creeping and showing late?
You know what? And a lot of times you see them up there. The key is going to be, you may be having, where are those safeties? They're the ones who'll show you where.
So that'll give it away.
That can give it away. There's just about always a telltale sign. The difference, it's going so fast and it's so loud. You have to communicate. Yeah, you can see it. If you're an experienced veteran, you can hopefully see it a little faster. But things are moving really fast.
So, and when they're moving really fast, that's when Drake May really has to be on guard. Correct? I mean, and he's done a great job. Now, he's taking a lot of sacks, Ernie. He's taking a lot of sacks, but he's been better lately as far as feeling the pocket. When to step up in the pocket, way to go downfield. We got to take a break.
He's been, I would say, the number one thing for Drake May. Yeah. He's really improved. When he starts moving, he keeps his eyes upfield. And he's looking for receivers. And what I loved it was either one of the last two games after the play, you could see him. he had two hands when he's moving, two hands on the
ball,
protecting
the ball.
So either he learns fast, or Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels put the fear of God into him about dropping another one.
All right, we got to take a break.
But this is where the passing game all starts.
All right. Double mug.
Double mug. Mean mug. You're mean mug. I'm going to get you.
All right, get your mug out of the camera. All right, we have much more on the whiteboard. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of the kicking game. We come back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Burton Ernie Talk Football for you. We're talking about the don'ts of the kicking game. Ernie, to the board.
Steve, as you know, games are won and lost in the kicking game.
Yep.
And there's some common factors at all levels, which if you don't want to get beat in the kicking game, you can't do. Number one, don't be offside in the kicking game. Brutal. It's because it's fourth down. You jump offside when it's basically, it can be like a turnover.
Yeah. Right.
That's essentially what it is. You really want to get your teammates upset at you.
The defensive players. Right? They got to come back out there.
They got to come back.
Because pick up a first down.
Yeah. Pick up a first. Yeah. And, of course, those long snappers now, they're cute with the fingers, flex them, the bottom of the head. Yeah. I mean, it's a real.
Don't be offsides. Okay.
But if all you're doing all week is being the long snapper, you develop stuff like that.
Second thing.
Number two.
Don't hold, block in the back, clip, or block below the waist. Okay? When you're blocking on special teams, the target zone is right here. Oh. If I can see your nameplate on the back, don't do it. You got beat. Don't even think about blocking, because it's just going to be they're going to attack on 10 yards.
And here comes the flag.
And even if the guy trips and you're close to him, they're going to probably blame you.
Right.
Okay.
So it's if
you get by him, let him go.
Let him go. Don't chase your man back to the wedge. It's just.
I got you.
It's like they're playing tag when they start doing that.
Number three.
Don't let the ball bounce. If you're a returner, it takes some funny shapes, funny things. You let the ball hit the ground, you get a 20-yard roll. You just gave away 20 yards.
As the return man, you're saying.
As the return man. Don't let the ball bounce. That's right. If it's in traffic, you can signal a fair catch, but you want to catch the ball on the fly.
But hold on. Don't let the ball bounce. What if it's inside your 10-yard line?
That gets to,
because it can bounce in the end zone. You let it go.
It bounces.
There's a fine line, right?
If it's over your head, and you like Marcus Jones did against the Jets, you don't want to field it. That's another thing. But don't let the ball hit in front of.
Number four.
Okay. Don't rough the kicker.
Very, very important.
That's the worst.
It's so tempting sometimes.
That is the worst penalty. Roughing the kicker.
Then there's two distinct types of kicks, of course. There's the punter and the field goal kicker.
Right.
If you're coming in, the worst thing you can do coming in to rush the punter is jump. You're out of control. Look at me, and you go right.
There is a technique.
There is a technique.
It's timing.
The punt blockers. You are not allowed to be on the front line of the Patriots' return if you didn't block a kick after practice on Friday. You come in, you put two hands together, you take it right off the punter's foot.
And you lean and you get out of the way.
And you get out of the way, so you don't hit you take it off his foot, you don't hit the kicker. There's a real technique. Field goals, if you're the defensive lineman blocking field goal, you're up here.
Right.
But so I see. When he was Keon White, he goes in the rush a punt, and I think he's used to doing field goal. He's trying to block the punt up here. It doesn't happen. It's not going to happen.
All right.
Don't follow your own man downfield. If we're covering a punt, you got to spread out and cover the field. If Christian's going down and I'm right behind him, that's open. There's a lane going to open up someplace else. If I'm right behind him, I got to adjust and get in my lane.
Okay.
So we cover the whole field.
About 30 seconds left.
Don't signal for a fair catch and not catch it. This is a pet peeve because, Steve, when you signal for a fair catch, you can't run with it. I can't hit you, but now I can go behind you and try to down the ball before it goes in the end zone. Do it the way that Marcus Jones did. If you don't signal a fair catch, you're faking the catch. The coverage team has to honor you, and now the ball goes behind you. The Tampa Bay had the returner, and he signaled fair catch, didn't catch it, and Schooler, who's a great special teams player, he unfortunately just broke down a little bit on the returner. I don't know if he would have downed it or not, but he had, the return just created a bad situation.
But don't to the kicking game.
Don't to the kicking game.
All right.
Don't do these, Steve.
I got you.
You lose football games.
I got you, Ernie.
Way.
I got you. We come back, we'll talk Bengals and Vince Wilfork. Stay with us.
Big Vince?
Big Vince.
We can talk Big Vince.
Hi, welcome back to our final segment. Cincinnati Bengals. They're 3-7, but they're a scary 3-7. Oh, you guys aren't buying.
I'll say this.
Both of you guys.
I'll say this. I think their will to work and the fight is over. No Jamar Chase. He's been suspended. Joe Flacco, look, he can't run anywhere, so you have to deal with that.
I still respect Cincinnati.
And their defense, their tackling ability is a rumor. I swear to God.
Well, and I will say, though, if the one thing, Patriots having a great season, they haven't just been going out and knocking people out. Okay, a lot of games, they stay close. So I mean, that's you
want to knock out.
I would like to, yeah.
I'll tell you, one player who could knock people out was Vince Wilfork.
Absolutely.
He's going to be honoring the tradition tonight. Your thoughts on Vince?
Well, the biggest thing I think people may not appreciate about Vince is the fact you always think about he was the nose tackle.
Yeah.
In reality, we always, if the other team had a good offensive tackle, we always put Vince over their best offensive lineman. We're worried about somebody running off tackle to our left. Easy way to fix it. Put Vince there. You need him a Vince. They're the biggest issue. We only had one of them. Okay, but I mean that we put
Vince there.
We put Vince there where we were going. We need if we had a problem. That's what we did.
And you're probably surprised if you're a tackle, and next thing you know, you see the nose guard who was 300 and some odd pounds, and you go, this guy is going to be easy. No, he was for his size, he was extremely athletic.
He was a heck of an athlete.
Yeah, he was a great athlete for a guy his size. You see the Keith tractor trailers of the world, the Ted Washingtons of the world. Like they don't move like Vince does.
Right, he light on his feet. Great player from right from the get-go.
Vince once told me he could dunk a basketball.
Believe it.
Really?
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah.
He told he could dunk a basketball. All right, I'm going to believe it.
Yeah.
All
I
300.
would want proof. Ask for
60
proof
pounds of it.
Ask for proof.
He was low.
Yeah.
But I love Vince.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. That's going to do it for this week. Glad you joined us for Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. We're here every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock on TV 38. You can find us streaming on CBS News Boston and our YouTube channel as well. For Ernie Adams and Christopher Fauria, I'm Steve Burton. We'll see you back here next week, everybody.